Reg, if I said the series will go 5 games or 7 games, you don't get 6, 5 or 7, what are you taking?
7.
Oh, okay.
We talked about this last week. You had Cleveland. I had Golden State. You wouldn't give a number. I said in 7. But in my opinion, it's still not a series until someone loses home court. So if Golden State, all they really have to do is win their home games and they win the series, which would be in 7. We expected this from Cleveland. Look, they were god-awful in games 1 and 2. And, you could go around and point fingers at, a number of people, but everyone did not play or perform up to their abilities. And in Game 3, LeBron James got more help, plain and simple. And it's simple when you go out there and play with effort, and you play as a team, and you share the basketball, and you hustle. And bottom line, you make shots. J.R. Smith made shots, 8 total points in games 1 and 2, and he has 20 in Game 3. When the ball goes through the basket, good things happen, obviously. And they made shots. Kyrie Irving made shots. He made plays. He didn't do that in games 1 and 2.
What's wrong with Steph Curry?
Something is wrong. And it's interesting because when I watch him, it's more because I'm watching him off the ball. When he's handling the basketball, he looks fine to me. But Steve Kerr and Golden State, they are running so many sets, and they've done this all year, with Clay and Steph off the basketball, with Andre and Draymond handling the basketball, which is smart because you've got your 2 best shooters coming off screens. It just adds another wrinkle to your offense. But when I'm watching him off the basketball, he doesn't have that explosion. He doesn't have that stop and go that I'm accustomed to seeing. Now, they've come out and say there's nothing wrong with the ankle, there's nothing wrong with the knee. It would not surprise me when this is all over, said and done, it's going to come out that he's in far worse shape than what we assumed he was. They can say he's okay because you don't want to put a target by saying something's wrong with your knee or ankle. But I really think something is affecting him because he does not look the same off the basketball. He looks fine when he's handling it, coming off, those high screen and rolls. But when he's underneath, and especially in the finals and in playoff basketball, when you get to hold a little bit more, when I watch Dellavedova and Shumpert and those guys holding him, he can't get free. So that's telling me alone that his lower body, his legs are not strong at all.
What I thought was strange, or maybe telling, is Steve Kerr takes Steph Curry out last night early, and he turns
asked him, "Are you okay?"
Yes. Why would he ask if he's okay?
Again, they will not say this publicly, but when this is all said and done, and I think we're kind of getting a glimpse of it by him kind of pulling out of Rio as well, saying he needs to rest the knee and the ankle. There's something more that is there. Again, I applaud him for playing through pain and playing, hurt or injured, but there's a little bit more to it. But we can't make excuses. If he's able to lace them up and go out there and play, then we're assuming he's at 100%. I'm just saying when this series is over and the dust settles, I would not be surprised later on down the road in the summer it comes out that his knee or ankle or both were giving him a lot of trouble.
Assuming he's cleared for Game 4, what do you do with Kevin Love?
I would bring him off the bench.
Yeah, me too.
Look, I'm a creature of habit, and something has been working with Richard Jefferson in with that starting lineup. And we saw this last year with Steve Kerr when he decided to go small with Andre Iguodala and benching Bogut. Look, it's going to help your second unit, and his role doesn't change. I think it helps solidifies that second unit if you have an all-star like Kevin Love coming off. I mean, this is not going to be his normal, role, come next year. But for this particular series, I think you've got to bring him off the bench. And we talked about this last week. I said that the Golden State Warriors were going to take one of the big 3 out for Cleveland, and it was going to probably be Kevin Love. They were going to put him in a lot of pick and rolls. Now, obviously, one game took him out because of the concussion, but that was going to be the goal in this series. It was that Golden State was going to try to take Kevin Love out of this series, and they have.
You ever have a concussion?
Yes.
How long were you out?
Well, we didn't have this protocol, so I pretty much came back and played. But, it's easy for us to say, well, he should be playing. in light of everything that we are starting to find out, obviously through the movie Concussion and through the football injuries and, some of these football deaths of Junior Seau and so forth, we got to be real careful because it's easy for us to be on the sidelines and say he should play. And I applaud Kevin Love for saying he wanting to play and being frustrated with the protocol of going through it and not being cleared. At the end of the day, he wanted to play, but the doctors did not clear him to play. So people need to understand that. So for them to say he's soft and if this was an old school, he would be playing, we've got to be real. This is just a basketball game, people. This is life that he's dealing with. So I'm sure he'll be cleared for Game 4, but we've got to be real careful on how we approach by calling guys soft by not playing with concussion because of everything we know now about head injuries.
But how did it affect you when you played with a concussion or concussion symptoms?
I was a little loopy. I had my symptoms, and maybe that's why I'm a little crazy today now, Dan, because of those concussions. But you've got to be careful, and I applaud this procedure being in place because as athletes, we are our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
We always feel that we could go out there and at 60, 70, 80%, we want to perform. But we've got to be careful, especially with a head injury.
He's Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer, NBA on TNT analyst, joining us. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I do not.
It feels like is that the show of the NBA? Like, what if you polled the players and said, "What is your binge watching show?"
I think I don't know a lot about the show, but it's like a ruthless show, right? It's like a cutthroat show. So that's pretty much the NBA.
Or Walking
Dead. That's why guys kind of get into it.
Yeah, The Walking Dead is another one.
Yes. Well, I love The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, or Fear the Dead, I think it's called.
Oh, McLovin.
You mean like the post show, the show right after Walking Dead? Is that?
No, there's a spinoff, isn't there? Fear the Walking Dead,
Yeah.
like how it originated.
It's about like the plane and all that stuff.
Was that the
No,
Yeah.
like how the virus originally started in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and it all starts on the plane with the plane, and all the people are going crazy in there.
McLovin, what?
McLovin, do you?
I don't watch Walking Dead.
Okay,
But
Okay,
he watches Game of Thrones.
I do not watch Game of Thrones. I'm sorry.
What do you binge on?
I'm binging because I'm now getting caught up. So don't give me a spoiler alert. The Good Wife, the last season. So I think I have 4 or 5 more to go. Don't stop it.
I haven't watched one episode to spoil it
okay.
for you.
Yeah, but one of those
The
Dan S
Good
usually
Wife?
have, and they like to spoil things.
The Good Wife.
I like the Julianne Margulies is fantastic. That's a great show. What are you talking about?
I don't. The Good Wife.
The Good Wife
Good
is
Wife.
totally cool.
Do you watch The Bachelorette too, Reg?
No.
Okay.
But a reality show, I love, now that Simon Cowell, America's Got Talent, I love. We should come up with a talent. We should go on that show.
Oh God! Did you
We
see?
should go on America's Got Talent.
Reg, did you see the outfit Mel B had on the last show?
Well, they change outfits a lot, but yes. Which one? The low cut one? Is that the one you're talking about?
She had like shoelaces, like
Yes,
holding
yes.
thing. And it's a family show. Somebody's got to tell Mel B, hey, come on. You're not in the Spice Girls then. You're spicing it up. But, oh my God.
It was classy. Stop it.
It was
Mel,
not classy.
you look fine.
It was not classy. Stay classy, Mel B. Stay classy. Yes, Paulie.
The Danettes are wondering if Reggie watched Gilmore Girls before games back in the day to get fired up.
No, I did not watch Gilmore Games.
What
Come
season
on
are
now.
you binging on that?
Touched by an Angel?
Party of 5. Give me a credit. Party of 5.
Okay, all right. But when you would get on the road, you go to a hotel, would you rent movies or would you watch shows?
I would watch movies because a lot of times you don't get a chance to see movies while they're out.
At
So,
theater?
Yes, the Spectre Vision, you would, rent a movie.
Fritzy, that's not what Reggie's talking
it's
about.
not.
No,
Oh, he's
no.
talking
No,
about the regular.
not those kind of movies.
Yeah, that's really
So
expensive.
they are on there.
Were you able to go out though to a movie? Did you guys ever go out in mass when you were at the Pacers?
Occasionally, yes, you would go out as a team movies. It's bonding experience, especially on the road, which is, that's what dinners, movies, go bowling. things like that.
But did you find that those, like the guy who is competitive as a basketball player is competitive with everything else?
Yes. Everyone has, a couple guys on their team that takes it. It's supposed to be a fun bonding experience. You go out and bowl and you have a good time and, you talk about things. But there's a couple guys on the team that have to just take everything serious and go to the next level.
Were you one of those guys?
And I was one of those guys, yeah. I was the spoiler, yes. I always had to take it. It's just the competitive edge in me. I'm sorry.
You can't turn it off.
It's hard to turn things off.
But are you competitive as a broadcaster?
I don't know if you can be competitive as a broadcaster because usually you're in a 2 or 3 man booth, and it's tough to be competitive because you just want to bring the action and explain the action to the people at home. So I don't know if you can be competitive.
But are you competitive with Mark Jackson, who does the finals for the
Mark
Mothership?
Is great. I love Mark. No, Mark is fantastic as a broadcaster. But I wouldn't be I don't know how you can be competitive. I may be jealous because they get to do the finals games. I'm not competitive. I'm jealous.
You were hoping that he would get a head coaching job, right?
Well, I'm not going to go over to ABC or ESPN. I'm just
okay.
jealous that he gets to call the biggest games.
No,
those are great games.
They've
been terrible games, but just that he's calling the finals.
You wouldn't be traded to ESPN.
I don't know. I'm sure I could be traded. Uh-oh. I'm not being traded. I love my Turner family. I love my Turner family.
All right. Before we leave, what happens in Game 4?
I could see us very much going back to the Bay up 2-2, but as embarrassed as the Warriors were, and Clay and Steph still have, through 3 games, they still have not played great.
Yep.
If memory, they have not scored 20 between the two of them, right?
Yep.
They have not had a 20-point game. So sooner or later, they're going to bust out, right?
Yes.
I could see that happening in Game 4. I see the Warriors winning in Game 4.
Ooh. All right. I hope Cleveland wins just to make it a little bit of a series, give a little bit of drama there.
It's nice, but again, it's not a series until someone loses on their home court. So, again, all Golden State has to do is win home games, and they win.
Thank you,
right?
Reg. Thank you, Reg.
I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Have a good weekend. We'll
Thank
talk
you,
soon.
Theodore.
All right, that's Reggie Aloysius Miller.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.